Now, I saw some people saying that 10,000 per week for the next generation vehicle, that's a low number, but Jeff made some very good points, and Gary actually thinks it's a high number for the launch, because that's just basically for the launch. Jeff says those are initial volumes for RFQ, input to the cost model to get a quote back from suppliers, not a commitment from Tesla. Number two, it may be more than 10,000 per week actually, as there are multiple suppliers on the same part. Minimum of 2 suppliers per part. I could easily see them installing 1 million per year capacity, 20,000 vehicles per week for year 1. Only then 2 to 2.5x that in year 2. And number 3, reminder, it will take them a period of time to get to that 1 million per year run rate. It will not happen on day 1. Remember the 2035 combustion engine ban in Europe? Well, Europe's largest political party now wants to remove that ban. I personally don't think there is a need for a ban, because that transition will happen naturally as EVs get much, much cheaper. It would be like banning horses. I wouldn't have much of a problem with, let's say, a ban on gas-powered vehicles in very high density urban areas. So that would pretty much just be the city center. But if you do that, then make sure that there's a place for people to park somewhere, and then they just take a walk of, let's say, 3 minutes to get to your final destination. So you're not really taking away any freedom from people. One thing that I sort of miss living here in Canada is when I lived in Europe, you could just go to the city center and just walk everywhere. Over here, even in the city center downtown, I really don't like walking here, because you have so many cars, so many lanes. You go to the city center or the old town in any city in Europe pretty much, and you will have such a pleasant time just walking around. Not the case here at all. And at least here in downtown Vancouver, there's so much pollution that when I walk around for maybe 1 hour in that area, I start to get a headache. That never happened to me in Europe. AJ has pointed out something pretty interesting. Remember these auto sales in China, which grew by a lot last year? BEVs also grew by a lot last year. The absolute number did. But because the overall market grew so much, the market share of BEVs did not actually increase by a very large number, even though the total number of BEVs sold did increase by a lot. So it's not like we are not making progress with BEVs, because it does take some time to scale. Supply chains have to adapt to higher demand and all of that. And you also have a very similar situation in Europe as well. As people get more educated about EVs, we will see a lot more EV sales. Here's FSD Beta 12. Omar says it's really good. Elon says it's a breakthrough. And the main thing that I see here, it's nothing that, I mean, if you told me that this is FSD 11, because some of Omar's videos from before were so good, I would believe you. But the previous versions would, especially when you would drive in these tiny spaces, like this space right here with lots of cars parked around you, the steering wheel often would be indecisive what it should do. So yeah, this looks pretty good to me. Cathie Wood is all for Elon getting 25% of voting control at Tesla before fulfilling AI goals at the company.
We actually think interest rates are going to fall sooner and faster, I think, than most expect. And so in terms of valuations, that should be very supportive to valuations.
Currently, the market expects rate cuts to really start in May, and the market expects the rate cuts to continue. And by the end of the year, the rate should be around 4-ish%, which would be good for stocks like Tesla.
Speaking of deflation, Cathie, Tesla has been cutting prices on cars. Investors have been cutting Tesla's stock price. You bought Tesla last year when it was cheaper than this. I think you bought some more, a good chunk, a little bit more than a week ago. Do you keep buying it as it goes down, if it continues to go down this year?
Well, if you watched our trading, and we do publish our trades at the end of every day, you'll see that we've been trading Tesla at the margin. So when it is soaring and everybody's excited about the good news, as we move towards electric vehicles, we will take profits. And likewise, as investors and traders begin to fear that we're going to be in an air pocket, we've got a 5-year investment time horizon, and we think that in 5 years, most car sales will be electric. And that is a trend that lower prices actually are going to encourage. So that's the good deflation, as we've got electric drivetrain prices coming down.
Okay.
In price. Tesla can price down. It can price down if we're in a weak spot globally, and it does appear that we are, certainly China and Europe.
Inevitably, most car sales eventually will be electric, and Tesla will largely benefit from that trend. And YouTube says you should watch this video next. My name is Matt Host. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.